All right, welcome back. We're going to kind of do the continuation of day 1 on section 6.3, but looking at how to do some of these things with the calculator. One of the things I want to spend some time looking at is how to do this binomial coefficient, this part that you'll see in the formula, rather than doing this by hand. One of the examples they had was like 5 choose 3, so you got 5 total events or total items, and we're choosing 3 out of those 5. And again, you could do this the long way, and this would be 5 factorial all over 3 factorial times 5 minus 3 factorial, or in other words, 5 factorial divided by 3 factorial times 2 factorial. And if we keep writing this out longhand, this would be 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 all over 3 times 2 times 1, and then the 2 factorial is 2 times 1. And you could do some canceling out. The 2 and the 1s cancel out. 5 times 4 times 3 is 60. 3 times 2 times 1 is 6. And this would give us 10. So there is a faster way to just do this with a calculator, and that's what I want to show is how to calculate that binomial coefficient using our calculator. And if you get your calculator out, we'll take a look at that and where to go for that. That officially is actually called a combination. So we'd end up going into our calculator. We're going to go to Menu. Under Probability, we have the word Combinations. So on the protocol for this, or the syntax for this is again a combination. N choose R. They use the letter R. Our book uses the letter K. So what you're doing is you're going to say 5 and then comma 3, and you can see that answer gets us 10. So that's one way of calculating this part right there. So not having to work this all out by hand, but kind of neat to see how that does work by hand. So what I want to look at, though, is going back to our problem that we had, and trying to work the whole problem using that to typing it in as we see it. Going back to this problem where you had 5 children, exactly 3 of them with type O blood, and with the probability of having type O blood is 0.25, we had this problem right here. So again, you can calculate this by hand, or you can use the combination button in the calculator to do this 5 choose 3 to get the 10. And you can actually calculate all of this right in line with the calculator. So we can do that too. Then we'll go back to that calculator. We could take that combination of 5, 3, and then back to the problem. We're going to type in this 0.25 to the third. So 0.25 raised to the third. And then it was 0.75 raised to the second. So you can see that this here represents that whole part, that whole first part right here. So again, we should get this answer of 0.08789 when we press enter. Okay. So, but yet there is again even a faster way to calculate all of this. If I know this is a binomial situation, a binomial setting, we've got some different menus we can go to. So we can go to Menu, Probability, and this is one of the new distributions we're going to be looking at. And this would be a binomial PDF. PDF, again, is a probability distribution function, and we can look for specific values when we do this problem. The menu comes up, asks us for the number of trials. Well, there was 5. the probability of success, again, the probability of that type O blood was 0.25. And then the X value, it says optional in here, but if you're trying to calculate a very specific one, we were trying to find out what's the probability of finding 3 kids amongst 5. We type that 3, and you can see we get that same answer. So, a little explanation on how to use the calculator. If we go back to this problem, again, what we had to do here was we had to calculate all the ones that are greater than 3. So in other words, let's be surprised if more than 3 children, so in other words, having 4 children or 5 children have type O blood, you had to do each of these individual calculations. Well, what's neat with the calculator is we could do that relatively quickly. So, except now it's not a binomial PDF, we could calculate each individual binomial PDF of 4 and 5 and add them together, but we got the calculator menu that can do that for us. So we go to Menu, Probability, Distributions, but now instead of binomial PDF, scroll down here to binomial CDF, because that's a cumulative distribution function. And again, the number of trials was 5. The probability of success was a 0.25 for getting type O blood. Now our lower bound was we're going greater than 3. So for greater than 3, and this is the discrete distribution, our first number greater than 3 is 4. Our upper bound, well, we can't get higher than 5, so that's going to be 5. And you can see our answer right here, 0.015625. Going back to our answer here too. Again, they just rounded to this value right there. So hopefully that helps a little bit with the calculator. You should be good to go now to be able to do the homework for the first part of 6.3, which is 63, 65, 66, 69, 71, 73, 75, and 77. Good luck, and we'll see you the next video on 6.3 on finding the mean and standard deviation of a binomial distribution.